Ringside Reactionary back with another one. This is 10 forgotten horrific WWE injuries by WrestleMania. Y'all need to, if y'all don't have them added or subscribed or whatever, do it. They got awesome videos. So yeah, let's check it out.
There have been some brutal injuries throughout WWE history, from Triple H tearing his quad to Stone Cold Steve Austin breaking his neck. These injuries highlighted just how dangerous pro wrestling can be. There are so many more horrific injuries that are often forgotten about when discussing the most sinister injuries that have taken place in a WWE ring. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 horrific injuries that took place in WWE that were forgotten about. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and also check out our new channel, WrestleMania Shorts. Number 10, Ridge Holland breaks his nose. WWE's first pay-per-view event of 2022 got off to a difficult start, as SmackDown star Ridge Holland was injured during the pre-show matchup. Holland teamed up with Sheamus to take on Ricochet and Cesaro, and during the match, Ricochet and Cesaro performed a double team move on Holland which shattered his nose. Unfortunately, the move appeared to be an attempted splash, but Ricochet's knee landed straight on Holland's face. Holland had to immediately grab his nose, as it was apparent that an injury had taken place.
That wasn't his knee, that was his foot.
Was called with immediate effect, and Holland was taken out of the match, leaving Sheamus to fend for himself. Thankfully, the talented Holland didn't miss too much time away from WWE TV, as he would begin to wear a protective mask for his matches. Number 9, Candice Michelle lands on her head. Candice Michelle's injury in 2007 looked absolutely devastating. Michelle was wrestling Beth Phoenix in a 2 out of 3 falls match on Raw when the match finish had to be changed on the fly. As Michelle was perched on the ropes, she slipped, falling face first onto the mat. A loud thud was heard.
Yeah, that would hurt a little bit.
Not okay. Even Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler's tone on commentary drastically altered, which indicated to the audience watching at home that this was not a planned spot. Concern grew when WWE.com posted an image on their website of Michelle being stretchered out of the arena, but WWE quickly put fans' minds at ease by releasing a statement that stated Michelle had only cracked her clavicle. The impact of landing on her head could have resulted in a much more serious injury, and WWE certainly did the right thing in changing the match finish. Number 8, Rick Boogs. The opening match of WrestleMania really set the benchmark of what fans hope to be a classic WrestleMania. However, at WrestleMania 38's night 1 of the event, it opened up with a sinister injury. Rick Boogs teamed with Shinsuke Nakamura to take on the Usos, and during the match, Boogs attempted to lift both members of the Usos onto his shoulders. This didn't go to plan, as Boogs tore his quad and was subsequently screaming in anguish in the middle of the ring. An audible was called, and Boogs was taken out of the match. This was the WrestleMania debut Boogs wanted, and it certainly left a negative aura around the show, which the WWE talent had to work hard to overcome. Number 7, Hardcore Holly. WWE made the smart move of moving Hardcore Holly over to the ECW brand in 2006. WWE had just revamped the ECW brand, and it made logical sense to bring someone as tough as Holly into the mix. One of Holly's most infamous moments on the ECW brand was when we wrestled Rob Van Dam. During a spot which was supposed to see Holly suplex RVD through a table from the ring apron, the table landing was botched, and part of the wood and metal went into Holly's back. This left Holly with a serious gash on his back, which was literally oozing out blood and didn't seem to stop. What was interesting about this injury was, upon reflection, it was the most extreme moment of WWE's version of ECW, and it wasn't even a planned instance of bloodshed. Number 6, Eugene. New Year's Revolution pay-per-view didn't get off to the best of starts. Eugene would team up with William Regal to take on Christian and Tyson Tomko, and Eugene suffered a career-threatening injury during the match. He would perform a standard dropkick on Tomko, and this was when Eugene grabbed his knee in agony. The ever-so-professional Christian would secretly check on Eugene by delivering a move which would allow him a few seconds of talk time, and this was when a brand new finish was put together. Eugene would delicately perform a roll-up on Tomko to win the match. Eugene's injury was substantial, as he ruptured his left patellar ligament, putting him on the shelf for 6 months. Interestingly, the next match on the pay-per-view also suffered a major injury when Lita tore her ACL in the featured match with Trish Stratus.
Lita fucked herself up a lot.
Cursed pay-per-view. Number 5, Paul London.
For real.
When a wrestler is accidentally injured by their opponent, they can hold on to resentment and anger for a few years, and this was most certainly the case in 2004. During a match on SmackDown between Paul London and Booker T, Booker accidentally broke London's nose with a back elbow. The injury was insanely gruesome, and WWE had to try and shoot around the blood, as SmackDown even back in 2004 was still a PG presentation. London would later
Jesus.
claim in shoot interviews, even as recent as summer of 2022, that Booker never once apologized for the injury. This led to Booker offering a
I mean, it
personal apology
happens
to
though,
London on his
bro.
podcast, where the Hall of Famer would state, "I want to say first and foremost to Paul London, I apologize, okay? If I did anything that you thought I did out of malice or I hurt you, I apologize." Number 4,
Took him long
Cesaro.
enough though.
One of the standout matches of 2017 was the tag match pitting Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus The Bar at No Mercy. Whilst the in-ring work was acclaimed by fans, special appreciation was offered towards Cesaro, who suffered a major injury and carried on with the match as if nothing happened. During the match, Rollins would perform a slingshot on Cesaro, with Cesaro's face heading straight into the post. This caused extensive dental damage for Cesaro as it had extensively impacted his 2 front teeth. Whilst the injury was serious, Cesaro showed great character in continuing on, and the moment the match was finished, Cesaro was medically assessed by WWE doctors. The damage was severe, so much that Cesaro had to wear braces and a mouthguard until summer 2019.
Yeah, that's
Number
wild
3,
shit.
Liv Morgan. Upon Brie Bella's return to in-ring competition in 2018, something felt a little off. Brie returned with a ton of ring rust and she was becoming insanely reckless in the ring. This recklessness resulted in an injury taking place. During a tag match featuring herself and Nikki versus the Riot Squad, Brie would kick Liv Morgan right in the face, knocking her out clean in the process. Morgan would be diagnosed with a serious concussion and would spend a duration of time on the sidelines. Brie received widespread criticism for how she handled the injury. Some fans believe that she was making matters worse by physically moving an already knocked out Morgan. Whilst the injury was without a doubt an avoidable one, Morgan appeared to share no malice towards Brie. The two would work together on a number of occasions following the unfortunate botch.
She's professional.
Number 2, Trish Stratus. The 2006 Backlash pay-per-view featured a highly anticipated rematch between Mickie James and Trish Stratus. The two had previously collided at WrestleMania 22 in a changing of the guard style match which saw James conquer WWE's resident top female talent. The rematch was going extremely well, as was typical for the two talented women, until eventually everything went wrong. James would push Stratus over the ropes, but in doing so, Stratus hyperextended her arm and it looked like Stratus had suffered a serious injury. It was uncomfortable to witness, as Stratus was clearly in absolute agony. A decision was made to end the match early as James began to choke out Stratus with a wristband, forcing a DQ in favor of her. It was never made clear what the intended finish of the match was supposed to be, but you have to assume it was something more interesting than what was delivered. In relation to Stratus' injury, she suffered a separated shoulder, which kept her out of action for 6 weeks. And number 1, Logan Paul. When WWE announced that Logan Paul would be wrestling Roman Reigns in the main event of Crown Jewel 2022, fans had mixed thoughts. Logan was new to the WWE, and some fans believed that him getting the opportunity to main event a major pay-per-view with WWE's top guy was extremely unfair. Some fans believe that Logan should have worked his way up to face Reigns and shouldn't have automatically been given a world title shot based on his celebrity status. But criticisms of the booking aside, the match truly exceeded everyone's expectations.
It really
Logan
did.
and Reigns delivered a match of the year contender that showed fans that Logan belonged in WWE. The only problem with the match was that Logan suffered a major injury. The injury took place when Logan performed a top rope frog splash onto Reigns through the announce table.
Yeah, we fucked up MCL, ACL.
Logan suffered a torn meniscus, MCL and ACL, but thankfully, after further evaluation, it was ruled that Logan had simply sprained his meniscus and MCL. But there you have it, folks. 10 horrific injuries that took place in WWE that were forgotten about. Be sure.
Yeah, that's crazy, yo. Alright, so link to the original video in the description. Y'all take it easy. Much love. I'm out. Peace.